everyone, my name is Stephanie Spicer and I'm a Limey. I'm not a doctor or a medical professional or an engineer or a scientist of any kind, so just keep that in mind while watching this video. To get real medical or technical advice, please speak to a professional. In this video, I'd just like to cover a few questions frequently asked by people interested in or just starting out with Rife machine treatment. This is just a quick overview, and you can find out more about any of these subjects in books, articles, and online forums. So let's get started. Should I use antibiotics and Rife machines at the same time? The short answer to this question is no. The reason is because antibiotics tend to scare the Lyme disease bacteria into cyst or round form, and Rife machines are most effective in killing the bacteria in their spirochete form. To put it in a nutshell, Rife machines won't inhibit antibiotics' effectiveness, but antibiotics will inhibit Rife machines' effectiveness. So then, what's the advantage of using a Rife machine over antibiotics? Because Rife machines don't create a chemical change in your blood, they have the advantage of taking the Lyme bacteria by surprise and killing them without triggering the rest into defense mode. Because of this, Rife machines don't tend to cause confusing false remissions. In contrast, when the Lyme disease bacteria are forced into cyst form by antibiotic treatment, they're less active, so you might feel better, but they will activate and cause trouble again as soon as they sense a more favorable environment. For example, as soon as you stop taking antibiotics. All this being said, if you are taking antibiotics, don't simply stop cold turkey. If you want to start Rife machine treatment, develop a plan with your doctor to phase out antibiotics safely. I personally do use antibiotics sometimes just to control local infections. I know this might make my Rife treatments less effective, but sometimes it's necessary and I just accept that it can't be perfect. What frequencies should I use? Most people who use Rife machines utilize the Consolidated Annotated Frequency List, or CAFL. It's available for free online. I'll put a link in the description. This is a massive list of frequencies associated with experimentally treating various health issues. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of real research on this. The list is based on user reports of ordinary people who have found certain frequencies useful for treating certain issues. That being the case, there isn't really an official recommended set of frequencies for treating Lyme or any other illness. Some machines have programs that run sweeps or sets of frequencies for specific health problems, but most of us just start with the CAFL and see what works for us. Are the frequencies different depending on which machine I use? No, this is just science. It can't be patented or kept a secret. So don't believe any machine manufacturer who tells you they have some secret sauce frequencies that nobody else knows about. The differences in machines mostly has to do with how they deliver the frequencies, how much power they have, and cosmetic differences such as size and ease of use. They're all there to do basically the same thing: kill microorganisms with electromagnetic frequencies. Which frequencies to use depends on the microorganism, not the machine. Every microorganism has a mortal oscillatory rate, or a rate at which it can be shaken to death. And usually there is a range of more than one frequency that can be used to kill any given pathogen. This being said, there can be a difference in the range of frequencies that a machine is able to run. For example, the machine that I have can only run frequencies up into the tens of thousands of hertz, while some machines can run frequencies up into the hundreds of thousands. You really only need these very high frequencies if you want to use them as carrier waves for very low frequencies. How many minutes should I run a frequency, and how many frequencies should I run per treatment session? It's very important to start Rife machine treatment slowly. Many people just starting out are very sick and don't know how strongly treatment will affect them. It's better to err on the side of less than to throw yourself into an uncontrollable herx, so please be careful and don't try to do everything in one sitting. Rife machine treatments take many sessions over an extended period of time, as most Lyme treatments do. It's a marathon, not a sprint. A good rule of thumb used by many in the Lyme disease community is 3 minutes per frequency. This is commonly accepted as a reasonable amount of time for a targeted load of bacteria to die. If you really want to know which frequencies work best for you, then only run one per treatment. I have to admit that I haven't followed these rules. When I started out, I went in favor of more frequencies per session, but ran them for a very short time, sometimes as little as 8 seconds each. I always herxed strongly, so I believed that it was working for me, and I did get much better over time. Now looking back though, I think I made a mistake. I wonder if running the frequencies for such a short time just aggravated the bacteria and provoked my immune system into fighting them. I wonder if I had been less eager to get through a list, and instead had taken the time to run each frequency for 3 minutes, I may have actually improved faster and put less strain on my immune system. I have gradually worked up to running all frequencies for 3 minutes each, and I like to think it works better since I've made some big steps forward since doing so. How often should I treat? After you do a treatment, you will get a Jerisch-Herxheimer reaction, which means you'll feel pretty sick as your body tries to clean out the bacteria you've just killed and the toxins they've released. It's important to detox and do supportive treatments as you work through the herx. A basic rule is don't do a new treatment until your last herx is over. I usually allow myself a couple of good days between the end of my herx and starting a new treatment too. However, it's important to remember that waiting too long between treatments can allow the Lyme bacteria to begin multiplying again. You need to treat faster than Lyme disease advances. When I first started out, I would do 1 treatment per week for 3 weeks in a row and then give myself 1 week off per month. This plan worked really well for a while. I used to herx like clockwork a day and a half after treatment. The first day was brutal, and each subsequent day was noticeably better. By the time the week was over, I was ready to treat again. After a while, my herxes seemed to hit later and last longer, although they were less severe. So I gradually worked into a pattern of treating every 10 to 14 days, and that's about what I still do now. Sometimes I do an early treatment if I notice a symptom is running out of control. You can become good at telling the difference between feeling sick from the Lyme or feeling sick from a herx. Some people notice they feel worse during certain seasons of the year, usually spring and fall, or during full moons. It's possible that the bacteria are more active and therefore treatments can be more effective during these times. So that's all for today, Lymies. I hope you're all feeling as well as possible. Keep fighting till it's over.